Imagine a world where the rising sun never set. Japan victorious in 1945, ruling from Tokyo to San Francisco. Could this have been our reality? December 7th, 1941. No Pearl Harbor. Japan bypasses America, crushes China, and forces the Allies to sue for peace. One fateful choice changes history forever. The year is 1945. In this alternate timeline, a series of decisive naval victories cripples the Allied Pacific Fleet. Exhausted by a prolonged war in Europe and facing insurmountable losses at sea, the Western powers are forced to the negotiating table. The war in the Pacific doesn't end with a bang, but with the quiet, chilling stroke of a pen. Japan negotiates a new order from a position of strength. The Treaty of Honolulu redraws the map of Asia and the Pacific. The Philippines, parts of Southeast Asia, and numerous Pacific islands fall under direct Japanese administration. A new empire is born, and with it, a new era of global politics. If you're enjoying this, please like, share, and subscribe. By the 1950s, Tokyo is hard at work, building its Greater East Asian co-prosperity sphere. But what does co-prosperity actually look like under an empire? It means puppet governments installed from Manchuria to Burma, their leaders pledging allegiance not to their people, but to the emperor. Propaganda posters and radio broadcasts relentlessly promote a vision of Asia for the Asiatics, led by Japan. Economically, this new order is a closed system. Pan-Asian trade blocs are established, but the terms heavily favor Japan. Raw materials like rubber, oil, and tin flow from the occupied territories to fuel Japan's booming industries, while Japanese manufactured goods flood their markets. This entire system is underpinned by heavy militarization, with Japanese bases strategically placed to quell any dissent and project power across the sphere. The 1960s see the global technology race shift its focus. With the West locked in a Cold War with the Soviet Union, Japan pours its resources into different fields. Instead of a space race to the moon, there's a naval race for the seas. Japanese engineers pioneer faster, more advanced naval technology, creating carrier groups that dominate the Pacific and Indian Oceans. This divergence creates vastly different consumer cultures. While the West gets rock and roll, Japan exports its own brand of cinema, animation, and electronics across Asia. Western cultural influence is actively suppressed, pushed to the margins as a decadent and inferior force. How would your daily life, your entertainment, and your aspirations change if they were shaped by Tokyo instead of Hollywood? By the 1980s, a new kind of Cold War has taken hold. Cold tensions persist between Tokyo and the remaining Western powers. While direct conflict is avoided, the globe becomes a chessboard for their ambitions. Proxy conflicts erupt across developing nations in Southeast Asia and Africa, as both sides vie for influence, resources, and strategic footholds. Fast forward to the 2000s, and the world's global institutions look completely different. The United Nations headquarters might be in Kyoto, not New York. The world's financial center could be Tokyo, not London. Asian-led trade organizations and alternate alliances dictate the flow of capital and goods, setting international standards that reflect Japanese priorities. In this world, the history textbooks tell a very different story. The war is remembered not as a fight for freedom against tyranny, but as a glorious campaign of liberation that freed Asia from Western colonialism. The lines between victor and vanquished, hero and villain, have been completely redrawn. It's a stark reminder that the history we learn is always written by the winners.